One last question. Um,
Mm,
After Leicester, after Liverpool, after
mm.
Villa, after City, you're still Ole in.
Very much.
What would it take you to finally wake up and see what is going on and demand for better in terms of
I
management?
already, I already am up. I'm awake. But I think the only thing that might is if the players come out, boldly and say, we're done with this. We can't work with this. It's
But
not
Mm.
they
happening.
indirectly though they have.
That's why I've said
Actions
direct, boldly come out and say that.
actions speak louder than words. I'm just saying.
That's why they have a mouth. They can't talk.
Oh yeah, okay. Hi, hello, and welcome back to another episode on the Football for the Fans podcast. My name is Ian,
Hello, my name is Kimko.
And I'm Alan.
and yeah, welcome back to another episode on the channel. We're going to do today basically a review of this past game week. It's been one hell of a game week, a lot of twists and turns, a few dismissal of a couple of managers, and lots of interesting stuff that has taken place. So obviously, thank you so much for the feedback on the last video. We got quite a few comments from different people, which is always good to see. And if you feel like you need to give any sort of feedback, the links to our other profiles are in the description below, and you can always feel free to comment down there. And yeah, let's get into today's video. So we kick things off with Manchester United versus Manchester City, the Manchester Derby, or as many people have put it, the training session at Old Trafford. Basically, no surprises in this game. Manchester City consistent, very good. Manchester United consistently shit, very poor performance. Another home defeat, one one shot on target, if I'm not wrong. I don't know. I think I'll let Kimco kick things off as the City fan in the group. What did you
Protagonist.
think of the game?
Protagonist. Yeah, it was a good game.
Mhm,
Obviously, the best team won. We should have won by more.
mhm.
Yeah, and it just went to show the blue side, the blue side of Manchester have the better Portuguese players in the league. So hope everyone noted that. Yeah, yeah. That was faultless. Cancelo was our number 10. Even De Bruyne was almost playing wing back because Cancelo was so advanced. That just shows you how good Pep set up the team despite not having a striker. So yeah,
It's crazy. One frightening stat obviously is the total dominance by Manchester City. I think they had on average 65% possession, if I'm not wrong, over the whole 90 minutes. And the player with the most touches for Manchester United was Lindelof with 69 in total for the whole 90. All 10 outfield players for Manchester City had more touches of the ball than Man United players. It's it's crazy. It was like a training session, to put it. But let me hear the thoughts of Alan. What do you think coming off
That
that
was,
loss?
that was a shameful performance by the United players.
Hmm.
No guts, no passion, poor all round. And
Hmm.
it's unfortunate that the team in Manchester that has the European, championship caliber and the
Hmm.
European pedigree
The record,
failed,
yes.
failed to turn up against the young boys in Manchester. So disappointing loss.
Hmm.
Hopefully now with the international break things might change.
Hmm.
So yeah, unfortunate loss. It is what it is.
Man United fans are now resorting to basically, almost giving up. But
No,
maybe we can.
we still want Ole to manage United for a few more years. Yeah,
Yeah.
just trust the process. Yeah.
Believe in the
Speaking
process.
speaking of Ole trusting the process. Alan, maybe I just want your response to this. So far in his tenure, at home, Ole has had 21% of all the defeats
Mm.
in Premier League history. Mind you, the Premier League has been around 20 years. But
30,
Uh,
30, 30.
30,
Yeah.
30 years, my bad. But so far, Ole has taken 21% out of all the home defeats. Do you
mhm.
still think he's the man for the job? Are you still Ole in, or
I'm still
have
Ole
you
in.
turned? Mm-hmm,
I'm
Yeah.
still Ole in.
Hmm?
mm-hmm,
I'm still Ole in. I still think he has the players
mm-hmm,
in the squad rather to turn things around.
mm-hmm.
And even talk about statistics. This was Pep's first win against Ole in the derby since Ole was appointed.
In the
So
Prem. In the Prem.
in the Premier League, yeah. So
Okay.
I guess even small teams get their day.
Okay, okay. That's a very bold statement to make. So after 11 games, United already 9 points behind.
Mhm.
Do you see United giving any sort of fight this season?
I think they have a chance, but there needs to be change after the international break
Mm-hmm,
because we still have some tough fixtures, coming up,
mm-hmm.
and I think the squad and the manager should show the fight, should I, more or less, and really improve things because if that doesn't happen, could be a long season. Could be a long season.
Maybe Kimco, you you're now probably in the driving seat, just I think 3 points shy of Man City.
Oh, Chelsea.
Uh, and Chelsea, your next game I can see is against Everton and West Ham. Pretty tough games. How do you think things will play out for you, especially over the month of November, considering you're still playing PSG in between them?
Considering we didn't make any subs because basically it was more of a training session. I feel we have strong options who didn't play on the day, who were able to
Mhm,
turn games, especially the West Ham game. The Everton, I think we will. We will win. The West Ham game is the one that's gonna be a bit tricky, but we are at home.
mm.
Yeah, at the London Stadium, we're a bit stronger because of the atmosphere from their fans, but we'll be at home. So
Are you bragging about being at home?
yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Our,
Alan.
our 3,000 fans outside 3,000 fans at Old Trafford. Have some shame, bro.
Alan,
I can't take much further after this weekend. So
one last question. Um,
mm,
After Leicester, after Liverpool, after
mm,
Villa, after City, you're still Ole in.
very much.
What would it take you to finally wake up and see what is going on and demand for better in terms of
I
management?
already I already am up. I'm awake. But I think the only thing that might is if the players come out, boldly and say, we're done with this. We can't work with this. It's
But
not
Mhm.
they
happening.
indirectly though they have.
Eh,
That's why I'm saying
Actions
directly, boldly come out and say that.
actions speak louder than words. I'm just saying.
That's why they have a mouth. They can't talk.
Ah, yeah, okay. Manchester United in a very precarious position. I think they are sixth, 9 points off the top, with tough games against Chelsea and Arsenal coming up. As a United fan, I don't know what even to say. I'm speechless. Let's just see how things will progress because if this continues, we're in for a very, very long season. Next up, Westham United versus Liverpool Football Club. One of the interesting games of this past weekend. Obviously, my prediction was a 2-1 win to Liverpool. If I remember correctly, I think you guys probably said Liverpool win, if I'm not wrong.
It would be a tough game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So things basically went against what we thought would happen. But a very interesting, but a very controversial goal. I just have two questions. Was the the goal for West Ham, the first one, a foul on the keeper? And was Cresswell supposed to be sent off? I'll let you guys take over.
I think I'll handle the Cresswell incident
Mhm.
because a lot of the Liverpool fans were up in arms over the
Yeah.
foul claim.
Hmm.
I think it was a send off, possible sending off
Hmm.
because it was a dangerous tackle.
Hmm.
I was actually I was actually surprised that 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 he wasn't given a red.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
but
if you were the ref, you would have sent him off, basically.
I would have sent him off. Unfortunate to say.
Okay.
What did you view of that, Kimco? Look of
Um, actually, I'm remembering something about the derby. We were so good, I even forgot the referee denied us a pen.
it.
Just shows you the standard of refereeing in England. It's so subpar.
Yeah.
The refs
Uh-huh.
get a lot of decisions wrong. So I'm not
Hmm.
surprised he wasn't sent off. Probably the influence from the fans,
Yeah,
players. So yeah, yeah, but it should have been a sending off. Same way Jesus deserved a pen. So, but we leave that
When the Liverpool game, man.
Yeah. There was actually that.
example. Yeah,
There was actually that question of when the tackle was made, right?
Mm.
When the tackle was made, the West Ham fans like gave a big roar, like he's won back the ball, and such reactions really influence the referee.
that's why the
Yeah,
VAR come then.
VAR
and he did
is
good
it's always
there, didn't he?
50-50. Sorry?
VAR wasn't like as you
No,
put it. That's where VAR comes in. He should
Hmm.
mm,
have.
it should
Yeah,
have, yeah. But normally they don't really go against the ref's decision unless it's clear and obvious. Which
era. Yeah,
that was clear.
that was clear. And yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like the Jesus one was very clear.
Ah,
He did.
What about the goal? Should it have been a foul on Allison rather than an
Ah,
Allison on goal?
Not really. I feel it
yeah,
was more of pressure.
yeah.
It, yeah, West Ham have pretty big players, so
Players. Yeah,
Allison probably just felt the pressure. Maybe the contact, but I don't think. Yeah, if he came out and maybe punched the ball,
Hmm.
probably he misjudged the flight of the ball, and that cost him.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
That was just Liverpool fans crying. It wasn't a foul that for me. As Kimpo has put it, West Ham have physical players. So
The keeper should be stronger.
yeah, just man
And
up.
Virgil and Matip should be strong.
Yeah, maybe the next big incident was obviously the Trent set piece with Salah.
Mm,
I think
mm.
beautiful goal.
Yeah,
Can't
wonderfully
fault him
worked.
for that. I
Yeah.
think that's basically one of Trent's stronger attributes.
Hmm.
Mm,
His attacking side is very good. His defensive side, and especially with the Zuma goal. I think
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's where he
Watching.
lacks.
He was ball watching.
He
Mm,
was. He was. Can't he's good going forward as you mentioned, but
mm.
I think that's why sometimes Southgate
Wait,
overlooks.
Southgate even said it. He needs to up his defensive game
Yeah,
to play more for England.
because going forward, you know what he'll give you: good
Mm.
crosses. He'll mix it up, but defensively,
It's always
he's
questionable.
tricky. Yeah,
But yeah, after Trent scoring, obviously West Ham hitting back.
almost immediately.
Yeah, 4-0 as
Yeah,
usual. Beautiful goal. I think probably Alisson should have done better, but it's hard to
No,
criticize him.
let me comment on this.
Mm,
mm,
The past few Liverpool games, if you look at after them scoring and the way they concede, it boils down to the Wijnaldum replacement. Wijnaldum's
yeah, yeah.
defensive work has gone underrated. It's gone under the radar, and
mhm,
they're really paying for it because Henderson is not as good at reading, making off the ball runs, and basically West Ham were playing counter versus Liverpool, and it was working. Because there was no one in that midfield, an eight who could track back or make the tackles. Yeah,
I
So
think
that destroyer position is
yeah.
not there anymore.
Yeah. Plus, a
just
lot of fans. There have been these Diaz Van Dijk comparisons over the past season or so about Diaz always being on the floor and Van Dijk being a very neat defender. But if you look at the Fornals goal, the Fornals goal, if Van Dijk was a bit traditional defender, he would have slid. Maybe he would have deflected it,
maybe, yeah.
or maybe he would have given Allison a chance. But he's always on his feet, like the pool fans like saying. So yeah, that cost them because Allison he was already out. He was already off possession.
Mm.
Diaz would
I think
have slid for that 100%, and maybe he would have saved it. But
Alan,
because
Alan,
Van Dijk is a cool, clean defender who doesn't slide.
maybe
Alan, you were saying?
to go back to Kimko's point on Wijnaldum.
Mm,
Like, Wijnaldum he's a ninja. He's a workhorse. Okay, more or less box to box midfielder.
mhm.
Does his defensive duties, in a robust way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Henderson he's more of a central. I think he's more of a central midfielder.
Mhm.
yeah.
So yeah, losing Wijnaldum, it was evident in this game.
Probably they need to strengthen um, this
Yeah,
summer transfer
I've been
window.
hearing about Bissouma. Maybe they'll go for Bissouma.
Oh, that can be a really good signing. Very
But
scary.
I think Thiago is getting back to full
Yeah,
fitness,
yeah.
Mm.
so
No,
he could be a good
if
addition.
maybe they do a pivot of Fabinho and Thiago, maybe the stability
Mhm.
might come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, probably.
But the captain always plays, so you have to. I'm more power.
Liverpool got their consolation goal through Origi, but
Origi.
that was just it. It was a good goal, yes, but only a consolation. I think we have to give credit to West Ham
Mhm,
because that performance, factoring in that they played on Thursday,
mhm,
is
Yeah.
immense,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So I can only say fully deserved win for West Ham. They are now officially a top three club. Maybe you
Mhm.
guys can finish things off.
Maybe
No,
can you guys talk about Mane's miss?
Oh yeah, yeah, the free kick. I remember that. He should. He
mhm,
He
would
should
he
have
have.
scored.
Would he
mhm.
have put it with his foot instead of his head?
Yeah. No, no. Those are those scenarios where it's so sweet. You just the diving is more logical.
Yeah, but
Ah.
in the end, I think West Ham deserved the victory, the win.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And as you put it, they are a proper team now. Team
Yeah.
to really, like, look at them and question. Don't go into the game, just boastfully or something.
Yeah,
That is how you're supposed to play your defensive midfielders. One is more defensive, the other one is a defensive but can help the attack. Suchek is
Yeah.
more defensive, but Rice helps the attack.
And Suchek has been consistent, by the way, from last season.
Hmm.
yeah.
It's just not been scoring as much as he did last season.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think what we can take off from this, West Ham very good. Moyes has gotten the balance um, correct this
Yeah.
season thus far. It's only 11 games in, still a very long way to go. But if they continue with this form, they can forget about Europa and start concentrating on Champions League football. Shocking, very, very odd to say. But yeah,
But possible.
congratulations. Very possible. Congratulations to West Ham.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Chelsea versus Burnley. Top of the table, Chelsea.
Ah,
European champions, Chelsea.
bro.
I think the prediction basically, I think we all got it wrong. If I'm not,
Yeah, we did.
yeah, we expected a very comfortable, comprehensive win by Chelsea, but football is very, very unforgiving. Chelsea had
Yeah.
so many opportunities. I think
Yeah.
they can only count themselves unlucky, or they can only blame themselves literally because they threw away the game. What did you guys think? Burnley deserved
Um,
it or were very fortunate?
I think Burnley knew what to do. That's how they normally play. Stay
Stay in the
compact. Yeah, stay in the game. This
Hmm.
guy Ian considers it anti-football,
Pretty much.
but it worked well for them.
Hmm.
I think as you put it, Chelsea, they just have themselves to blame.
Hmm.
I think they had 25 shots in total,
Hmm.
four on
Yeah,
target,
yeah, yeah.
then scoring only one goal. So those who serve them right.
Hmm.
Still, at least they're not um out of reach, out of sight, because the gap between Chelsea and I think Man City and West Ham is 3 points.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So had they won this game, could have been what, six
five,
points, five,
five. Yeah.
5 points. So credit to Burnley, of course, striking when it mattered,
Hmm.
and I think this will also do them good going to the international break.
Hmm.
Yeah, wonderful result for them.
Kim.
Yeah, I think Chelsea basically threw away the match. They had so many opportunities. It almost feels like they missed Lukaku, which I think,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, because as much as sometimes he can be a liability, he's more clinical, would I say, than Havertz or probably
He's a
Odoi.
proper striker.
Yeah.
He's a
He
proper
wouldn't,
number nine.
he wouldn't miss certain chances.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But
Um.
credit to, I feel like they really defended well.
Mhm.
It's important to know your opponent and it's important to be realistic. You can't go to Chelsea and say you'll play attacking football. You probably don't have the players to play attacking football. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Probably a Norwich 7-0 scoreline would have taken place as well.
yeah. So, yeah. Plus, I credit to Sean Dyke. He actually subbed his big center forwards,
Mm.
uh, Wood
Wood.
and Wood and the other one for
Buns.
Vidra.
Is it Buns?
Yeah, for Vidra and this other guy.
Rodriguez.
This the other guy that Tons United. Yeah,
Rodriguez.
Yes, Rodriguez.
Mhm.
Rodriguez. They actually combined for the goal, which was lovely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The rest of the league, it was a relief because no one wanted Chelsea to really uh, like it was their chance to to probably create a gap. But yeah, I think it worked well for everyone.
I think, yeah, you guys have basically summed it up. Um, they they looked like they were running away with the league. Um, they have been toned down a bit,
Yeah,
and their next fixture obviously is against Leicester.
Leicester.
Very, very tough fixtures.
So we hope Ole stays long enough to hand Tuchen another L. It will be a lovely sight.
Hopefully, it will be a back to back L for Liverpool, for Chelsea rather.
Hmm.
Yeah.
hmm And
Yeah, and
then
if the other
after,
teams can also win their games, could be interesting.
yeah, I think with the next two games it could go either way. They could
Mm,
either increase that gap, or they could be pulled back down
yeah,
into the rest of the park and make it a bit more competitive.
and I
But
think they also play West Ham sometime soon, right?
yeah, they play after the United game, they play Watford and then they play West Ham
Yeah,
away.
so interesting times.
Scary moments coming up in November. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, I have to say this, but congratulations to Burnley. Fortunate. Every time they get a point, it is a point against football.
You're a United fan. You should understand.
ah,
I think for the sanity of the league, and the competitive nature of the league, I'm happy that Chelsea have been stopped,
yeah.
but I still think Burnley are going down. So
They're
pretty.
2 points behind the 17th team, I think. Watford. They're on 8 points, so they still have a chance. It's tight. It's tight at the top, but also it's tight at the rear end. So it's
Um,
interesting.
I don't know. I don't know. I want them to go down. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, thank God for Burnley this time round. On to the next game, Arsenal versus Watford.
Mm-hmm.
I think my prediction was a 2-0 Arsenal win. I don't know if you remember what you said.
I said a 3-2 win for Watford.
A
I
3-2
expected
win for Watford.
Watford to win me, but the game itself was a different story
Hmm.
because I think Arsenal they dominated the game.
For sure.
They were the better team, better chances, and I think Smith Rowe capitalized on the and
On the,
rightfully won.
on the opportunity.
He put the game to bed with that
Hmm.
goal, and I think he is Arsenal's form player
Yep.
because since his introduction to the team, I think it was in the Spurs game. They've
Hmm.
been just pulling wins and getting results, avoiding defeat more or less.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think as much as I hate on Arsenal, they were good in this game. They were the
Yep.
better team and deserved the win.
Yeah. The game was so one-sided. I think if you watched the Chelsea Burnley game, I think the Arsenal
Mhm.
Watford game was more one-sided.
Yeah.
It's only that Arsenal were fortunate not to concede because there was a chance in the second half
Mm.
for
Mm.
Watford,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
if they were just a bit more clinical, they probably would have equalized. But
Yeah.
I guess Arteta's men, keep moving forward. He seems
It's
to have stabilized the ship, and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
just slowly bagging points. And that's what it takes to move up the table.
I was actually surprised, as you put it. I was actually surprised that the likes of Sa and Dennis, even King,
Mm.
didn't turn up as I expected them to.
They're very passive.
Yeah, but it goes to show that Arsenal. I think Arteta did his homework,
Mhm,
and Arsenal. It was one sided, except for the
mhm,
for the for the mentioned chance.
mhm. And
So
one special mention to, as you've said, Emil Smith Rowe. He's
Yeah,
actually been called to the England senior team for the
yeah,
first time. So
yeah.
that's a very, very major achievement, and he probably is one for the future.
He deserves a call up. Yeah.
Yeah, three in three goals in 3 games. You deserve nothing less. And I think it was the perfect time because Mount had his injury.
Yeah.
He had, I think, dental work done to him.
Wow, that was
Apparently,
the injury.
yeah, he had some dental work done to him. I was like, what? I thought these are things you do off season,
Wow.
but probably this was one of those unavoidable circumstances. And Rashford pulled out
Injured.
last
He was
minute.
ill. He was ill. I think he was ill.
Yeah, so you know, opportunity came knocking at the door, and the manager selected him. Even though he
Yeah.
said it's still too early, he really had no choice.
How old is he, by the way?
19,
Oh, okay.
19, if I'm not wrong,
So,
18, 19. So yeah,
so like
it's
Greenwood also. Greenwood also omitted because the explanation was it's too soon for him also for
yeah,
Mason Greenwood.
yeah. I think he doesn't want these very young players to start the ego, form like having an ego basically, because there
Yeah.
are reports that it wasn't meant to be Emil Smith Rowe coming in. It was actually meant to be Callum Hudson-Odoi coming in.
Oh, okay.
But apparently he was called to the under 21s or under 23s squad, and
Hudson.
yeah, Hudson-Odoi, and he refused. He turned them
Wow.
down. So I think Southgate was like, you know what? We don't want
Just
egos. You, if you're not willing to, no, turn up for
yeah.
your country, just stay back. There are way more options.
Maybe also another honorable mention for James. Was it Ben Foster, the Watford
Oh yeah,
goalkeeper,
yeah,
for the
yeah.
penalty save rather against Obama.
I think it's very recommendable, or very commendable basically. He kept the scoreline respectable
Yeah.
because if if it wasn't for him, I don't know what
Oh.
we'd be talking about right now. Probably 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, congratulations to Arsenal. They are now fifth for the first time in a long time, and they will need all the momentum going into their next game. They
Who do they
face
play first?
Liverpool.
Ooh.
They face Liverpool after the international break, so that's one to look out for. A
Thank
proper
you so much. Thank you God for the fixture.
It will be a proper test to see if they are truly recovered or this is just, putting
One of
paint
those
to
runs.
a cracked surface, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to next match week for Arsenal.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically that's all 10 teams analyzed, all 10
Mm.
matches rather analyzed, and it's been a pretty good discussion. Unfortunately, Kimco having technical difficulties somewhere in the middle, but I'm pretty sure he shares most of the sentiments with us of the games that he's not been there. And if you've made it this far, kindly, just take time, like, subscribe, share the content. It really does help us. If you want to, if you feel free to say anything, basically, obviously constructive, in the comments section. Let us know whether you like this kind of format or what changes you'd like us to
Yeah.
make. And yeah, thank you so much for taking time. We don't take it for granted. Uh, I've been your host, Ian,
I'm Alan.
and see you guys next week. Bye bye.
Bye.